Welcome to Pro Tools Expert. My name's Dan Cooper, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review of Ozone 8 by iZotope. This has got a very cool new feature. More on that in a minute. First though, let me tell you about my history with Ozone. Ozone 3 was my first ever third-party plugin, and I upgraded that to version 4 through to version 5, and that's where I kind of stopped using it. Now with Ozone 8, I've actually started picking it up again, which is really nice. It's still got that Ozone DNA to it that I loved all those years ago, but it's got quite a lot more going for it now. Let me give you a very quick overview of the GUI, and then let's master a track really quickly. So over on the right-hand side, we've got our input and output trim. More importantly, we've got our meters. On default, you can see it's got RMS, peak, but these can be changed. You can select any different type of metering here, all very easy. And you can also zoom in on the scale of the meters as well. Very useful. Now some really important controls below that. Obviously bypass, a gain match next to that. Crucial this. Work with gain match on the whole time as it does what it says on the tin. Below that we've got reference. Now you can load in another song. So if you were mastering an album, you could load in one reference master that you were really pleased with and kind of work to that. More on that again later in the video. We can monitor in mono. Stereo, can flip stereo image. Got a very comprehensive dithering section here and a very useful codec monitoring section. Now, it's important for us to know when we're mastering, especially when we're going to be exporting to compressed format like MP3 or AAC, we need to kind of know what information is going to be thrown out, if you know what I mean. And this does a very good job of telling us. So let's just play some audio and I'll show you what I mean. So let's crush it. Let's put it on its lowest setting, 96. No one should be exporting at that. And let's listen to the artifacts. It's quite revealing, isn't it? Let's put it up on 320, the highest. Yeah, so gives you a good idea there of what information is going to be thrown out if you export any one of these. So let's move across now to the main part of the interface. At the top here is where we load in our modules, and there are plenty here for getting your masters sorted. In the middle is where each of the components controls are found. Each of the modules, very, very easy to use, very self-explanatory, very iZotope, which is great. And at the top we've got presets, but to be honest, who's going to be using presets in Ozone 8? I think they're going to be utterly pointless because this is going to be playing second fiddle to the new Master Assistant. Not too dissimilar from the track assistant we first saw in iZotope Neutron 1. So let's give this a go. 3 options here. So streaming, CD and reference. You might recall I did mention about reference back here under our meters. So we can use a reference track and the Master Assistant can do its magic to try and get this master as close to that, which is very cool. We're not going to do that here. We're actually just going to go for streaming. Have got one for CD for anyone that is still mastering for CD. Again, let's not do that now. We're going to go for streaming. I'm going to click next. Asks us to play the audio, so let's do that. Then it's just going to run through each of its processes, and you'll hear each one sort of kick in like that.
That's fine. Just give it to me. I'm strong or weak. My defeat. When you give it to me, I'm laughing now for a while, but I'm dying beneath. Hex me up. Another night in the honeycomb.
Okay, then we click accept. And the Master Assistant is complete. Okay, let's hear the before and after now. So for this, I'm going to put it on gain match.
I wait all night, that's fine. Just give it to me. I'm strong or weak. My defeat. When you give it to me, I'm laughing now for a while, but I'm dying beneath. Hex me up. Another night in the honeycomb.
Okay, it's a really good starting point. Now the mastering assistant, what's nice is that it just does these 4 processes to get you going. So EQ, dynamics, dynamic EQ, and the maximizer. It doesn't add anything, let's say, creative to the mastering chain. And to give you an example of what I mean, things like exciters, vintage tape, vintage limiter, imager, those sort of things, it leaves all that out for you, for the user to decide. Now, one thing I do find a little bit irritating about this is that there's only room for 6 modules. And I think that's a little bit of a shame and a little bit stingy, if you ask me. And I also think it's a bit of a shame that it's not a full screen resizable GUI either. But apart from that, it's a very cool plugin. Anyway, for more information on Ozone 8 by iZotope, do check out the iZotope website. Let us know your thoughts on Ozone 8 in the comments below. Hope you guys got something from this. I'm Dan from Pro Tools Expert, and I'll see you again soon.